from Arkansas's #1 trusted source for weather. This is a severe weather alert.
Hopefully you guys hear me now. Hopefully that takes care of the audio, so we should be good now. Do apologize for the issue with the audio here. Had to get stuff set up here. So we do have a tornado warning up here in northeastern Arkansas at this current time. Let's go and talk to you guys about that tornado warning here. So it is going to be for southeastern Craighead County, northeastern Poinsett County, Mississippi County, eastern Arkansas, Hemscott County. That's going to be in the southeastern Missouri. That's in the Missouri Boot Hill. Dunklin County, and also Dyer County. That's going to be western Tennessee here. It's going to go until 8:30 this morning. Severe thunderstorm Kipper producing a tornado was located near Lake City, moving northeast at 60 miles per hour here, guys. So anyone up here, that's going to be for the Blytheville area, anyone that's traveling on the interstate right now, give them a heads up, tell them what's going on, and tell them to take their tornado precautions immediately. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. If we're still having any audio issues, let me know. But it looks like everybody should be able to hear me now here, guys. So let's go ahead and take a look at the area of rotation here real quickly here. So this is going to be just to the east of the Caraway area here. This is going to be, there's Osceola, there's going to be the interstate right here. Let's go ahead and turn on the road network. Give me just a moment. Anyone, like I say, anyone that's traveling on the interstate right now needs to be taking their tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows, put as many walls between yourself and the outside as possible here. So right now, looks like it is going to be right there near Highway 158 over here in northeastern Arkansas, or just to the west of Highway 77. There's Interstate 55 up here that runs up through Mississippi County up here. So that's going to be Osceola up towards the Blytheville area here. So Blytheville, I know we've got, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. We've got kiddos that are going to school. We've got, other stuff going on, folks trying to get to work and everything like that. Give these folks up here near Blytheville a heads up. Say, hey, this is an area of rotation that's getting going. We're going to have to watch this very closely. And this is going to be the situation here. So let's go ahead and put a track on this. And when we talk about these tornado situations, by the way, so you see the green and you see the red. So the green means it's going towards the radar here. So you're looking at this at the perspective of Memphis. So like, let's say you're in Memphis right now. So the green is the wind going towards the radar in Memphis, and then the red is going away from the radar in Memphis. So that's where you get your gate to gate, your rotation, and that's where you have that tornado potential here, guys. So give me just 1 second here. I'm having to kind of do stuff on demand, get stuff set up and ready to go here. So that's going to be that area of rotation right through here. I'm going to put it at about 50 miles per hour. So the Dell area is going to be coming at you at 8:19 over towards Blytheville. We're got you at 8:30 this morning. That's another 28 minutes. Let's call it 25 because it's going to take time for you to, get to your shelters and everything like that. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let me go over to the iDrive camera real quick. I have that set up right under me, and what we're going to do is I'm going to have this set up right on the interstate. So there should be a couple of cameras up here that looks, there's one that looks southbound. Let's see, we've got one that's looking north. We also have the Truman camera up here, but it looks like the Truman camera is going to be just a little bit too far away for us to be able to see anything. Looks like the area of rotation is to the north and east here, but we do have some RDOT cameras up here that we can use. So I'm going to use I-55 near Osceola. That's looking south. So I need one that's looking north. I just had that north view for a second. Give me just a minute here. I just had it. It was somewhere over here. There we go. There's north view. Okay, so that's going to be looking to the north here. So there's something that does develop here. We'll be able to see it that's on Interstate 55. at Highway 158 over here on exit 53 up here in northeastern Arkansas. So if you're just now tuning in, for those that are wondering, we do have a tornado warning that is in effect. I want to stress this does not include proper downtown Jonesboro. This is well to the east of Jonesboro. This is more for our folks near the Blytheville area up here in far northeastern Arkansas. If you're tuning in from central Arkansas, etc., this is not impacting Little Rock or anything like that here. This is going to be for our folks up here in far northeastern Arkansas. So that tornado warning is going to be remaining in effect until 8:30 this morning here. So if you guys give me just a minute, looks like we're not live on Roku. So what I'm going to do, if you guys give me just a moment, I'm going to stop it over here and I'm going to switch the coverage over. So give me just 1 second. This was kind of like a surprise tornado warning, because I told you guys last night that the damage you win and the health threat was going to be there. Looks like your environment is starting to become more conducive for that tornado threat here, even as early as 8 o'clock this morning. So I'm going to go ahead and start over Roku. So Roku should be up and going coming up here in just a little bit. I'm also going to get Twitter set up here. So you guys give me just a second. We'll get on live on Twitter as well here. So I've got the track up here. This is gonna be for our folks up here in northeastern Arkansas. So if you know anyone in these areas, make sure that they're taking their tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows, put as many walls between yourself and the outside as possible, and get to that lowest, most interior part of your home immediately. I do realize, like I said before, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. A lot of people are traveling. You're dropping kids off at school, etc. As you can see on the traffic cam, the interstate is very busy this morning. If you are traveling on the interstate right now, I would highly suggest finding a gas station, a grocery store, restaurant, etc., and getting there as quickly as you can here, guys. So give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and get Twitter going. Looks like I've got Twitter going. Looks like I've got Roku going as well. So one of my guys, make sure that we're live on Roku. Might help if I have Discord pulled up. So give me just a second here. Okay, all right, so it looks like we're good to go. Okay, so yeah, we're good. All right, we're good. I've got everything set up there. We're gonna go live on Twitter. So it looks like we're good to go here. Okay, so Twitter's now up, Roku's now up, YouTube's up, and it looks like we're good on Facebook. So we should be good on all of our platforms now. So like I mentioned before, if you're just now tuning in, I'm Chief Forecaster Cameron. We've got a tornado warning up here in far northeastern Arkansas. I'll go ahead and read you guys the details with it here. So my folks in Poinsett County, looks like that tornado warning has been canceled here, but we do have a tornado warning that remains in effect for the, let's see, that's going to be for southeastern Craighead, Mississippi, and sort of Pemscott County. That's in Missouri. That's in the Missouri Boot Hill, by the way. Mississippi County is where Blytheville is, and then southeastern Craighead County. I always think Craighead County with Jonesboro, Mississippi County, Blytheville. Hopefully that helps kind of give you guys a familiar area where this is. So looks like it should be kicking on here in just a little bit. You may have to kind of kick out the app and then come back in, Laura, because I know you're seeing the Roku saying it's messed up here. So it should be kicking back on here in just a little bit. But severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Blytheville, moving east at 60 miles per hour here. So Blytheville, time's ticking. It looks like it's going to be at around 8:30. I'm going to put a new track on here. Looks like, just based off on a couple of scans that we've seen, looks like the area of rotation is starting to broaden out. I want to stress, when you deal with a situation like this, sometimes these area of rotations here, as you can see, look very strong coming just south of the Lake City area. Wouldn't be surprised if we had a brief touchdown just south of Lake City earlier on. Tornado warning got issued, and now it looks like the area of rotation is starting to broaden out, which is good news and bad news. So you substitute the tornado threat for the damaging wind threat here. So we'll keep an eye on it. Another thing I was going to suggest, as well, as these rotations tend to do this, they will start to weaken. And then what will happen is, next scan, they'll start to pick themselves back up here. So we will continue to kind of keep an eye on this. My folks in Blytheville, anyone that's traveling on Interstate 55 right now, like I said, we've got a lot of traffic. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. Folks are trying to get to work, trying to get kiddos to school. Got a lot of Friday morning plans. Make sure, if you're under this tornado warning right now, that you're trying to seek shelter immediately. That's finding gas stations, grocery stores, that's finding a restaurant, that's finding that sturdy shelter. You never want to be in a car whenever you deal with a situation like this here, guys. Okay, so my folks in Blytheville, the Burnett area, even just down towards the Osceola area, looks like the area of rotation is going to be just to the north of the Osceola area. Looks like it's right now, it just passed over Highway 77. It's going to continue to move off towards the east into the northeast here. As a matter of fact, let's stop the scan for just a little bit here. So I just mentioned this. Looks like we got a brand new area of rotation starting to get going just to the northwest of Dale. So my folks in Blytheville, this is a very big call to action, my folks in Blytheville. Keep an eye on this. Go ahead, take your tornado precautions immediately. Aaron, Lori, make sure if I'm not sure what's going on with Roku. Roku's up and going on my end over here. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. You may have to back out and come back in. Let me know if that continues to be an issue. I see you guys are commenting that in the chat. So I'm not sure what that issue is. Looks like it's playing on my side here, so I'm not sure if that continues to be an issue or not here. But looks like we do have that other area of rotation starting to get going. That's Highway 181 right now here, guys. Okay, so my folks just northwest of Dale, you need to take your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible and get to that lowest level of your home immediately at this current time here. I just realized why Roku is not working. So give me just 1 second because I just realized I had a brand new server that I had to make for that. So if you give me just a minute, I will get that up and going here, guys. So like I said, this is kind of a situation where we just kind of dove into this this tornado warning here. So I do apologize for any kind of technical issues we've had this morning here. So give me just a second here and I will get that ready to go here. So it looks like that's going to be it. Let me do this because I turned it off over there. So that's going to be it, and we should be good now. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's do this. All right, so Roku should be coming up here in just a second here. Like I said, I do apologize for that issue here. It looks like we had a server issue over here, so it looks like it's starting to kind of come back online here. So it'll kick on here in just a second. Okay, let me see if it's going to, yep, we should be good to go now here. Okay, so there we go. All right, so Roku's back up and going, Fire TV with that as well. We've got Facebook, we've got YouTube, and we've got Twitter going here this morning. So that should solve all the technical issues across the board here, guys. So that area of rotation here, looks like the newest scan kind of gotten rid of that rotation here. I'm still going to keep an eye on this because this is a direct impact for my folks that are traveling on Highway 61 right now. That's going to be Highway 18. So we're going to keep an eye on this. Looks like with the latest scan, the rotation is trying to broaden out once again. Just go ahead, if you know anyone in this area, make sure that they're taking their tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows, put as many walls between yourself and the outside as possible, and get to that lowest, most center part of your home immediately at this current time here, guys. So give me just 1 minute. Let's go ahead and pull the rotation track up here. And that's going to be it. That's going to be just to the north of the Dale area here. That is going to be along Highway 181. This is also going to be, that's going to be Highway 239. That's Highway 18. That's going to be Highway 61. There's the interstate, and then there's Blytheville. So my folks in Blytheville, if you're watching this right now, I would go ahead, get into your safe spot, get away from windows, put as many walls between yourself and the outside as physically possible here. So that's going to be the area of rotation. Let's go ahead and kind of take a look at the latest couple of scans. As you can see, it looked like it developed just in the northwest of the Dale community. Looks like it's moving towards the Blytheville area here. So keep an eye on this. This is what I'm stressing right now is these types of rotations here, they will die off. They'll go away for a little bit, and then a brand new area of rotation will develop here. That's why my folks that are traveling on Interstate 55 right now, and it's like I said before, it's 8 o'clock in the morning on a Friday. It is chaotic. It's busy. Folks are trying to get to where they need to go for the day. What I would recommend, like I said before, make sure that you are getting into that sturdy shelter. That is a gas station, grocery store, restaurant, etc. You don't ever want to be in a vehicle when you're dealing with a situation like this. Also, I want to stress, do not park under an overpass whatsoever. You will never be safe under an overpass. I would rather for you guys to find that gas station, find that sturdy shelter, and get there as quickly as you can here, guys. Like I said before, that's got my folks that are traveling on Highway 18, Interstate 55 right now, and that's also going to be Highway 61 over here as well. So let's take a look at here. Let's kind of zoom this back out. So I'm going to do this, and let's go ahead and zoom this back out real quickly here. And it looks like there's two areas now that I'm kind of keeping my eye on here. One just to the north of the community of Victoria, and then we have one up here that is to the north and east of Dale, or just to the southwest of Blytheville up here. Regardless, anybody that's traveling on Interstate 55 right now, you need to be getting into your safe spots immediately. If you're watching this at home, that's getting into that center, the most interior part of your home, that is not getting into a crawl space or anything like that. That is getting into that center, lowest part. That could be a bathroom, that could be a kid's room, it could be a spare room, etc. Just a room that has walls surrounding it, and also a room that does not have windows here, guys. Okay, so two areas that we're keeping an eye on here. That's going to be just the northeast of the community of Dale. And then I've got another area down here that is along Highway 148. Gonna have to keep an eye on both of these areas of rotation here as they continue to move out towards the north and east. So Blytheville, anyone that's on Interstate 55 right now, I would just go ahead and get into your safe spots. If you're traveling right now, I would go ahead and get there as quickly as possible here, guys. Okay, so I have not heard anything in returns of reports. Let me see here. Let me double check and make sure. Looks like Aaron said it is working now, so looks like we are good to go on there. If you guys have any reports or anything, let me know. I haven't heard any reports of any damage or anything like that, which is obviously great news when you deal with a situation like this. But I would much rather for you guys to be safe than sorry. Especially when you deal with a tornado warning here, guys. So my Blytheville area, anyone that's traveling on Highway 61 right now, Interstate 55, make sure that you're getting into your safe spots immediately here. Let's go back to the normal way that you would look at a radar here. If you're looking at this from a phone, you're pulling up one of those, those weather apps and stuff like that. You're seeing, this is what you're seeing right now here. This is what we call a supercell storm that's gotten its act together. It looks like it's going to continue to move into even a better environment across West Tennessee at this point. Something that we'll have to continue to monitor even later on today is these storms from this morning may tend to leave what's called an outflow boundary. And if that sets up across northeastern Arkansas, that could help your tornado threat later on today here, guys. So looks like we're good. Aaron, Lori, or Taylor, if y'all can double check me, make sure that we're good on Roku, that we're good on Facebook, that we're good on YouTube, etc. All of our platforms. That would be awesome here. It looks like we are. I haven't seen any issues on my side of things here, but it's always good to have somebody that's checking into that right now here, guys. Okay, so tornado warnings remains in effect until 8:30 this morning. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rotation strength here, guys. Here, and looks like we've got like I said before, some couple of areas we're going to have to watch. One that's just to the southwest of the Blytheville area, and one over here near the Victoria area. Looks like we're starting to see some strong rotation in both of these. Now, when you deal with a situation like this, which rotation is going to win out? And this is where, chasing comes in, etc. When you talk about a situation like this, it's always that southern part of the storm where it's closer to the inflow, etc. That's the one you typically would have to watch here. So that's going to be, for our communities down here in Victoria, the Burnett area, the Lux Aura area. If I butched that name, I apologize. But I'll just go with Victoria for now. So our communities over here, that's going to be Highway 148, Highway 181, Highway 158 over here as well. This is the area that I would personally keep an eye on here, not taking anything away from our folks up here in Blytheville. Blytheville, I would definitely get into your safe spot because this is the area of rotation that is moving towards that. But that southern part, because you're, like I said before, when you deal with a tornadic storm, it feeds off of that warm, moist air here, guys. So the closer it is to the inflow, the better it's going to have the potential of producing a tornado here. So obviously, you've got the one up here to the north, you got the one to the south. The southern one will always be the one you'd have to personally keep an eye on here, regardless of the fact here. You still have to watch the northern part up here as well. That's going to be for our folks on Highway 239, Highway 18 over here, and then also for our folks up here in the Blytheville area here. So this is going to be another area that you have to keep an eye on. This area of rotation is going to be moving to the north and east. Same thing with this one. It's going to be crossing over Interstate 55. I'm looking at the highways, and I see the interstates over here. So it's going to be crossing over, coming up here just a little bit. Looks like we are good. Good to go. Looks like Facebook's good to go. We're Roku's good. YouTube is good. So we're good to go on all of our platforms here, guys. A little bit of a chaotic start to our Friday morning here, but we made it work, guys. So tornado warning still remains in effect till 8:30. Looks like we still have that area of rotation here right there along Highway 18. Got another area that we'll have to keep an eye on here near the Victoria area here. Both of these areas of rotations will be moving over the interstate. So anybody that's on Interstate 55 right now here, I would definitely make sure that you are seeking your tornado precautions immediately here. So it looks like we're good. Let me double check a couple of things. Like I said before, just kind of got thrown into tornado warning coverage this morning here. I was actually getting ready to kind of get stuff set up for today. Looks like I just turned my microphone up, so you guys should be able to hear me louder now, even better than before. So I was trying to get stuff set up for today because we do have that moderate risk up there in northeastern Arkansas, and then we had the tornado warning that got issued for our folks there in Mississippi County and Craighead County. So I'm gonna double check something real quickly here and see if the newest update SPC's come out just yet. Looks like it's loading pretty slow here. Looks like there's a brand new update. So looks like we haven't had much changed. Looks like they did bring that 10% hatch, that level 2 tornado risk. That does include our folks up here in northeastern Arkansas today. Severe wind, 45% hatched up there, and then we've got the hail threat. So we do have a very, very active stretch of severe weather coming our way starting today. We've got one tomorrow for our folks down there in western, southern, and southwestern Arkansas. And then we've got it on Sunday even a low end threat on Sunday. And then we've got Monday and we've got Tuesday here. So this is just kind of getting the start of what's going to be a very active next 4 to 5 days for us here in Arkansas. And if you're familiar to, what happened back in April, where we had that 5-day stretch of severe weather, it can get tiring. It can just get chaotic here. So we're going to keep an eye on this here. It looks like they're still going to continue the tornado warning until 8:30 this morning here. I would fully expect them to issue another tornado warning here, probably for both areas of rotation. That's going to be for our folks, like I said, along Interstate 55 right now. That's Highway 61. This is the both areas that you're going to have to keep an eye on here. Wouldn't be shocked if the brand new tornado warning kind of looks something like this, where you kind of account for both tornadic areas here along, that's going to be along the interstate. I have to keep an eye on that here, but I wouldn't be surprised if the brand new tornado warning kind of looks like that. That may go until 9 o'clock this morning. This storm will quickly move into western Tennessee, so anyone that's in the southeastern part of the Missouri Boot Hill or in western Tennessee, give them a heads up, tell them what's going on, tell them to take their tornado precautions here, because what's going to happen is this storm actually is going to move into western Tennessee, northwestern Tennessee. It's going to move into a better environment over there to our east here, and this storm may eventually be a problem downstream for our folks in West Tennessee and up into the Ohio Valley here. So we'll have to keep an eye on here. Right now, with it being 8 o'clock in the morning here, it is struggling naturally, but this could be a problematic storm here down the road here. So let's go ahead. What I'm going to do is look at both areas of rotation. Looks like a brand new scan just came in, and I'm going to zoom down, and this is what I was telling you guys, that southern end. This is near the Victoria area. Like I said, when you deal with a tornadic storm, you always want to target that southern part of the storm because it's closer to an inflow. It doesn't have to battle as much as the one to the north. This is what I have to keep an eye on here. My folks along Highway 61 right now here. Looks like that area of rotation is starting to get going. Looks like the iDrive cameras look like it went down here. So let me see if I can. Looks like there's one in particular. That may be, there we go. So that's the one that's looking northbound. That's Highway 55. Not Highway 55, Interstate 55, excuse me, Highway 158. That's looking north into the storm here. So you're looking from the camera, you're looking north. And this is pretty much what you're going to see. You're not going to see this, this big old tornado that you would see in the plains or something like that. This is going to be a Gunget mess where, you have that area of rotation here. It's going to be kind of rain wrapped. So my folks that are traveling right now here on St. 4, it's a Friday morning, not going to knock on anybody that's trying to get to where they're going here. This is kind of a surprise tornado warning up here in northeastern Arkansas this morning. But I am seeing a really good trend is that the interstate is starting to kind of calm down a little bit as of 8 o'clock this morning. So that means a lot of folks are probably either, getting to that gas station, getting to that sturdy shelter, kind of riding out the storm until it kind of passes through here. So I have noticed that over the last couple of minutes is that the interstate is starting to calm down pretty much. For Friday morning, this is pretty calm up here in northeastern Arkansas. So we'll keep an eye on here with this particular storm here. It looks like the tornado warning still remains in effect until 8:30. Another 7 minutes with that. We'll have to keep an eye on it here. I will say this. Looks like another area is trying to get going up here just to the east of Blytheville. So Blytheville, things are chaotic right now. We've got a lot of heavy rainfall, wind, thunder, lightning. Just kind of stay hunkered down, let this storm pass by, and then we're going to be good to go. And then you have another area down here just to the east of the community of Victoria. That's going to be right along Highway 61 right now here. So the camera that you're looking at, you're looking north. So you're actually looking into the circulation right now here. This is what you're going to see. Like I said, you're not going to see this big old tornado on the camera. You're going to see a rain-wrapped mess pretty much with this particular storm because it's disorganized right now here. And another thing with this storm as well, it is hauling. It is booking to the northeast at about 60 miles per hour. So looks like the southern end of the rotation is trying to die down a little bit. The northern part up here, that's going to be Highway 137. That's Highway 150 up here in far northeastern Mississippi County. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. Looks like the area of rotation is trying to get going. My folks in the Blytheville area, just kind of hang tight. Kind of ride this storm out here. And once this passes through, you're going to be good for the short term. We do have more severe weather that we'll have to talk about here, guys, coming up later on this afternoon and into this evening here. We will carry a significant hail threat, significant damaging wind threat, and there could be a few strong tornadoes up here in northeastern Arkansas later on as well here. So what I will probably do here is the tornado warning up here, once that expires, I'll get you guys a severe weather forecast package out on the page. And then what I will probably do is probably come back closer to the lunchtime time frame here, kind of depending on how data looks and everything like that. I may do kind of a quick Q&A, kind of like what we normally do with severe weather alert day. And then we'll get into, we'll go into coverage here later on this afternoon and into this evening. Obviously, Derek will be joining me later. We'll have our team ready to go by the time we get into this afternoon and into this evening here. So we've got an area of rotation here. I think this is probably what's going to prompt the next tornado warning here. We'll have to keep an eye on here. It looks like you got another area that's trying to get going. That's going to be Highway 120 over here. Just over here in far northeastern Mississippi County up here in northeastern Arkansas. Looks like it's getting ready to cross over the Mississippi River. So this should be a western Tennessee problem coming up within the next 5 to 15 minutes here. But I think out of the two circulations here, what we can do is let's go over to your rotation strength real quickly here. I would say the northern one is trying to get better organized compared to the southern one. We'll have to watch both areas, obviously, because whenever you deal with this, there could be a situation where this storm is kind of splitting, and you get two storms that kind of develop, and then you have to watch that. Like I mentioned before, with it being 8 o'clock in the morning, this storm is very disorganized. Doesn't mean that you don't need to be seeking shelter or anything like that. But with it being 8 o'clock in the morning here, it is a little bit disorganized here. It looks like that southern end is trying to get back going once again here. So we'll have to keep an eye on that here, guys. But what's going to end up happening is my folks downstream, I know we're Arkansas weather watchers, but we care about everybody, especially our surrounding states here. So my folks in West Tennessee, especially further to the north and east, Kentucky, the Ohio Valley, you guys are under the, that's going to be the level 3 tornado risk up there in the Ohio Valley. So if you got folks that are traveling, you got people that are trying to come home for graduation, etc., give them a heads up, tell them what's going on here. I know we're an Arkansas-based page, but we kind of extend that olive branch for our folks over there in West Tennessee and into the Ohio Valley today. That doesn't mean we're not going to see anything here in Arkansas, but, things will have to be watched later on this afternoon to this evening here. But a much bigger tornado outbreak is expected for our folks up there to the north and east here. So we'll have to keep an eye on this situation is moving in the afternoon and into the evening here, guys. So a couple more minutes on the tornado warning here. Let's go back to the normal way that you would look at radar. Like I mentioned before, it looks like this storm is trying to separate. You've got one area that's trying to move to the north and east. This area here is trying to get itself kind of organized, so that may present a hazard for our folks on Highway 120 right now. Regardless, both areas is moving into western Tennessee, so this shouldn't be too big of an issue coming up within the next 10 to 15 minutes here, guys. So let's zoom this out. Looks like the tornado warning still remains in effect. Let's go to 8:30. Looks like what they're going to do is going to replace it with a severe thunderstorm warning tornado possible. But we'll see if they do put another tornado warning out. What's going to end up happening is we are going to break away because this is going to be a situation where this is going to be moving into western Tennessee. So our threat here in Arkansas is rapidly coming to an end for this particular storm. I want to stress this will not have any impact. As a matter of fact, if it does have any impact on later on severe weather or tornado threat, it could be a situation where you have these storms develop and they send out what's called an outflow boundary. And if you get an outflow boundary to kind of send out up here in northeastern Arkansas, this is where your tornado threat may be a little bit more what we call locally higher up here in northeastern Arkansas. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. Obviously, for our folks further to the southwest, central Arkansas, etc., we are still expecting severe weather for a good amount of the state today here. But I think if there were to be a solid tornado threat here, an area of highest concern, in my honest opinion, it's going to be in the storm-weary, the battered northeastern Arkansas up here for today here. And I hate saying that, like I said before, because you've had so many tornado events up here, so many outbreaks this spring, and this looks to be kind of another case here for our folks up here in northeastern Arkansas. So this would be the area of concern for your tornado threat for today. That does not mean anywhere outside of this area you can't see a tornado or won't have any tornado warnings, but I think that far northeastern corner will have to be watched later on this afternoon and into this evening here. So looks like the tornado warning has been dropped as of 8:30 this morning. They are going to replace it with a severe thunderstorm warning, tornado possible. This particular storm is now moving out of Arkansas. So my folks in Blytheville, anyone that's traveling on Interstate 55 right now, you are good to go. It is an all clear in terms of this particular storm. We're going to continue to monitor it, let this thing get out of Arkansas and go into western Tennessee before we kind of break away. But if you're in Blytheville right now, or if you're traveling on Interstate 55 right now, looks like you are relatively good to go now here. Looks like the area of rotation has cleared out. It has now moved into western Tennessee here. So we'll have to continue to kind of keep an eye on that later on here. Now, let's go over what I'm going to do real fast here. Is we're going to do this. And if you give me just 1 second, I'm having to do a couple things on demand here. But I'm going to attempt, because this is going to be a severe weather forecast package on the page. So I'm going to attempt to bring up today's severe weather threat here. So give me just a second. Looks like we should be able to do that. There it is. So there we go. All right, so there's today's severe weather threat here, guys. So that particular storm, my folks up there in Mississippi County, the tornado warning has been dropped. It has been replaced with a severe thunderstorm warning, tornado possible tag. That will no longer pose too big of an issue for our folks here in Arkansas. That's going into western Tennessee at this point. So this is your severe weather threat for today. I'm going to turn off the radar for just a moment. You have a level 2 risk for much of Arkansas, level 3 up here in northeastern Arkansas and eastern Arkansas, and then you have that level 4 for our folks up here in Pocahontas. That's the Piggott area, etc. You notice the further north and east you go, the bigger your severe threat gets. But this is a situation, that area that I highlighted up here in northeastern Arkansas, I would definitely make sure that you have, your severe weather plans that you've gone over, etc. Like I said before, I know with it being Friday and the middle part of May, a lot of folks are getting ready for graduation, either getting ready for it or having graduation tonight. School administrators, I would heavily watch the forecast later on this afternoon into this evening here. Some of these storms could pose a really big risk across our area here, guys. So let's talk about for just a moment that tornado threat here. So I'm going to go over for just a minute, and let me switch this over to our tornado threat here, guys. So this is going to be our tornado threat for today. As you can see, there's that likely area across the board, and then you've got this area up here in northeastern Arkansas that you're gonna have to watch very closely here. That area that I circled from pretty much that's the Viola area here towards Pocahontas, Jonesboro, the Blytheville area here up here in northeastern Arkansas. That's Cave City, etc. I would be watching this situation very closely here. Your tornado threat's a lot higher up here in northeastern Arkansas. And then, like I said before, not discounting anybody else across the state. We will have to keep an eye on that later on this afternoon and into this evening. A quick look at Futurecast for just a little bit, and like I said before, after that, we are going to hop off of coverage here, kind of get things ready to go, get you guys that severe weather forecast package on the page, and then like I said before, I'll probably holler at you guys just a little bit after lunch to see how data looks later on, and then we will go from there here, guys. So let's go ahead and let's do this. So I'm going to go over to the next 18 hours. It's going to load up, and this is going to be the case here, guys. So let's say for that, those storms move off. And then there's going to be additional storms that are going to develop later on this afternoon and into this evening here. So what I'm going to do, let's go back here. So that's going to be this morning. There's your storms from this morning that prompted a tornado warning up here in far northeastern Arkansas. That moves away. For much of the day, you should be relatively good to go. If you're watching this in Little Rock, if you're watching this in Arkadelphia, if you're watching this in Searcy, Jonesboro, etc., for much of today, you should be relatively good to go. Looks like we've got some storms that are going to start to pop up near the Mena area here over here in western Arkansas as we move into your lunch time frame. And then you see the storms really start to blow up as we move towards that 4, 5 o'clock time frame, especially for our folks in western and central Arkansas. This will mainly carry a very large hail threat and an isolated tornado threat over here in western Arkansas. I think your best tornado potential is going to be for our folks up here in northeastern Arkansas. Obviously, if you have any tornado warnings in this area here, we will be here. We will be live, so you don't have to worry about that. But you can see just after sunset, things really start to kind of bubble up across the area here for our folks in central Arkansas, and then for our folks in eastern and into southern Arkansas. Like I mentioned before, we'll keep an eye on this because some of these could potentially produce, and you can see with the kind of the color scheme here, that's going to be your white, your gray, etc. These will have the potential of producing some significant large hail. And we will have to watch out for that tornado threat here, guys. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as we move later on into this afternoon, into this evening. And then things look like they will clear out by the time we get towards that 10, 11 o'clock time frame tonight. But we do have more storms to talk about as we move into your Saturday, into your Sunday, for our folks in western Arkansas on the Monday, and then for much of the state as we move into your Tuesday time frame of next week here. So a 4-day stretch of severe weather coming our way as we move into the weekend, into the early part of next week here, guys. So with that being said, right now looks like that storm has cleared out of Mississippi County, so now it's moving into western Tennessee. For our folks in Blythe Village, it's kind of another reassurance call. You guys are good to go. The tornado warning has been dropped. There's no tornadic activity in that area as of right now, but keep an eye on things here. Things will start to become a lot more active as we move into later on this afternoon into this evening. Like I mentioned before, we're going to have that severe weather forecast package coming out within the next 10 to 15 minutes on Facebook. And then, like I said before, we'll have a live stream for you guys, probably a quick 30-minute Q&A, probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll let you guys know once we get closer to that time frame. And then what we'll do after that is we'll get ourselves set up for any potential tornadic coverage here on the page here, guys. So as a reminder, we have a 24/7 weather channel on YouTube, Roku, and Fire TV. So don't ever feel like that we're ignoring you guys here. We have other platforms that you can utilize, not just Facebook, as there will come a day where Facebook crashes and you will need those other platforms. So make sure that if you have a Roku device, you have a Fire TV device, that you have our 24/7 network ready to go. Same thing goes on YouTube as well. The page will be in what's called SWADBO, Severe Weather Alert Day, which means that all of our posts will be strictly just for today's severe weather threat. We do realize that, with graduation this weekend and early next week, a lot of folks are trying to plan ahead. We've got major severe weather potential for our folks in northeastern Arkansas and severe weather potential for the rest of the state for today. So we've got to prioritize that, and then we will start to talk about what's coming up this weekend and into early next week here, guys. So that's pretty much all I've got for you guys right now. To repeat, the tornado warning has been dropped for our folks up here in northeastern Arkansas. So with that being said, I will catch you guys later on today, and we'll continue to keep you guys updated right here, your source for all things Arkansas weather.